Hi, I've had my Kinesis Tripster ATR V3 bike now for about 4 months, and I thought I'd do a little review on it. I've been meaning to do it for a while. Over that period I've racked up about 1,000 miles on it, so I feel as if I'm able to share my thoughts on how it's performed. I'll go through some of the components that have been used in this build, and then I'll go and give you an idea of what I think of them. So this is the V3. It's a 52cm frame. It's I'm 5'7", so if you're a short arse like me, then if you go for a 52, then the sizing should be about right. I found it to be perfect for me. It's a stunningly able frame. I found it to be very compliant, very sure-footed. It holds its line beautifully, and it just feels really planted when you're on it, on the gravel. I've been really surprised, pleasantly surprised, at the low level of buzz that you get back from the roads and the gravel, from the touch points, basically the bars and the saddle, and that's probably testament to the supplied range carbon fork that comes with it, and the built-in compliance at the rear end from the flattened seat stays and shaped chain stays as well. From an engineering point of view, it's quite a stunning frame, absolutely beautiful brushed titanium, and some of the work and craftsmanship that's gone into the welds, especially around the flat brake mounts, is quite beautiful. You know, very, very well engineered, especially with the dropouts as well. It's got some lovely touches. They've got a nice Kinesis badge here, which is very kind of traditional on the front, and on the back, on the inside rear chainstay, there's a little inscription that says, "And so the adventure begins." And for me, that was a kind of deciding factor. One of the things that I was hoping that this bike would do for me. You know, it would be great for going on adventures, and as such, there's lots of mounts on it, on the fork, at the back, and here for 3 bottle mounts and for various panniers and all that kind of thing. So that was one of the reasons why I went for this bike as well, and we're hoping to get some adventures done next spring, some bike packing adventures. So for the group set, I went with a SRAM Force Etap AXS 1x mullet kind of setup. So we've got a 44 SRAM front chainring with a 12-speed 5010 Eagle cassette on the back. That's the Eagle XX1 1050. So that has the Eagle rear derailleur as well, which is fitted with a clutch mechanism that helps to hold the chain in place. The cranks are SRAM Force carbon, and they're 170s, and I've gone with Look X SPD pedals. We've got SRAM red brakes here, and shifters, and calipers as well, SRAM red calipers. The wheels are Zip 303Ss. They've been fitted with Panaracer Gravel King AC 38mm tyres. The wheels have been set up tubeless, and I've been running them around 42 psi. I had a double puncture about 5 or 6 weeks ago when I had to fit a couple of plugs in to the tyres, but they've been fine ever since. The rubber plugs, I've had to blow them up, you know, periodically, but I think that just goes with the territory with tubeless. But running them at these lower tyre pressures has certainly given us a lot more grip, and it kind of lessens the potential for pinch flats. You'll notice that the rear wheel is different from the front. Obviously this is a 303S. At the back, it had a crack. I hit something a couple of weeks ago and put a little crack in the wheel itself. I took that up to the guys at Synergy, and they provided me with this lone wheel to keep me pedalling, and they've sent the other one away to Zip, and they're going to provide me with a replacement. So the lifetime guarantee that comes with these wheels is one of the reasons why I bought them. I decided to buy them. I was a little bit wary of buying carbon wheels for using gravel, but the excellent customer service I've had from both Synergy and Zip is testament to, you know, that guarantee, and hopefully that'll be here shortly. So coming from a pure road cycling background, I've only ever owned road bikes. I've been mountain biking probably 5 or 6 times, handful of times. So I don't have any great experience of off-road cycling or gravel cycling. I'm fairly new to it. So, but over the past 4 months, I've found this bike to perform excellently. I've been very, very pleased with it. It's really comfortable. I've been happy with the gearing. We've had it down in some pretty steep, gravelly terrain, especially down in the Clyde Wind Farm, where it's been up over 20% gradients on gravel, and I've never had to dismount because I've run out of gears. It's also the first time that I've had a bike with SRAM fitted. I've always ever had Shimano in the past, and I've found the SRAM Etap to be fantastic. There's a real satisfying kind of clunk that you get with it when you change gear. Now, it's maybe because of the big changes and the difference in the sizes of the cogs at the back, but I've also found that the 4410 can fairly motor along when you're trying to get to the gravel. I found the wheels to spin up quickly. They've taken some real hits in the last 3 months, mostly without complaint, and like I say, it's the first time that I've really used tubeless, and I've been very pleased with that system as well. On the brake side of things, I've only ever had rim brakes in the past, so the additional control and modulation that you get from the hydraulic disc brakes is fantastic. The SRAM red shifters as well, I've been very pleased with them. That position on the tops, on the hoods, is where I find myself most of the time when I'm on this bike. I also fitted a zip carbon flared gravel bar, and I found that to be very kind of reassuring, especially on bumpy descents. You get that additional control and stability, and it just gives you that extra bit of confidence. I went for a Celly Royale saddle. That's been comfortable, I've been happy with that, and I'm waiting on a carbon VCLS seat post, the kind of leafed one that will give possibly a little bit more compliance as well at the rear end, so hopefully that will be another plus. This bike was really a dream build for me, and I had researched it fairly thoroughly, but I have to say that I've got to give a lot of thanks to Donny, Dave and Nico up at Synergy Cycles in Auchterarder for all their help in making this build happen. Their sage advice and experience was invaluable. They're a really friendly bunch of guys, and I thoroughly recommend them to anybody who's kind of going out on this, like, I'm going to build myself a dream bike. It's quite effortlessly handled, everything I've pointed at over the last 4 months, and a lot of that has been quite challenging terrain. If anything, the bike's performance has probably been let down a little bit by its owner, as opposed to its own limitations. It's mostly been used in gravel, although inevitably it has been on the road as we try to travel to the gravel. But when I've been on the road with it, I haven't really found that these Gravel King Panaracer Gravel King ACs have been very draggy. They seem to be quite a good mix between, you know, gravel and road, so they've been pretty good. I have made several videos of our expeditions and trips and gravel rides around Scotland, so if you'd like to see the bike perform in its natural habitat, then I'll put a link on this video to it. We've been to some quite stunning locations, and although I do most of the filming, I've got a couple of mates, Terry and Kevin, who also have titanium Tripster ATRs in similar builds, and their bikes feature quite prominently in all of the videos, so if you'd like to see them, then just click on the videos. Buying this bike has been one of the best things I've done in a long time. I genuinely believe that gravel riding is the future for me. I've now become seriously less tolerant of close passes from cars on the road, and the feeling of additional security cycling in gravel gives you when you're not having to contend with traffic is totally liberating. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And to round up, I suppose the ultimate question is, would I recommend the Kinesis Tripster ATR V3 titanium frame? Absolutely. If you're in the market for a gravel all-rounder, I thoroughly recommend this frame as a base for a gravel bike build. So if you're thinking about, should I get a Kinesis, I'd say just get it. You won't regret it.